Joe Rogan has allegedly revealed a shocking truth about Nicole Kidman's divorce from Keith Urban, claiming that Nicole warned Keith about his affair before their marriage fell apart. The supposed revelation, which allegedly surfaced on The Joe Rogan Experience, has spread rapidly among millions of listeners worldwide. For months, the public narrative surrounding the couple's split has been simple: that Nicole and Keith drifted apart after 19 years of marriage. Many believed Keith's demanding touring schedule caused emotional distance, slowly eroding their connection. However, according to circulating reports, Rogan's comments suggest something far more dramatic. Nicole did not simply decide one day that her marriage was over. She allegedly discovered that Keith was having an affair, confronted him with proof, and gave him an ultimatum: end the relationship or lose the marriage. If Rogan's alleged account is accurate, Nicole's decision to leave was not about emotional distance but about betrayal. The revelation has left many wondering how Rogan could know about such private details. His podcast is the most popular in the world, with each episode reaching tens of millions of people. Over the years, Rogan has built deep relationships with comedians, musicians, and celebrities, many of whom open up about personal matters both on and off the air. Based in Austin, Texas, Rogan frequently hosts country artists, placing him close to Nashville's music community, Keith and Nicole's longtime home base. His familiarity with touring life, gained from decades of stand-up experience, gives him unique insight into how life on the road can lead to infidelity. Reports claim that Rogan discussed Keith's alleged affair during a recent episode, describing how Nicole found evidence while Keith was touring extensively. She confronted him, gave him one chance to end it, and when he didn't, she followed through on her warning. Rogan's supposed commentary mirrors his usual themes: celebrity hypocrisy, relationships under pressure, and the moral contradictions of fame. He often talks about how men in the public eye struggle to stay faithful while traveling constantly, surrounded by temptation. According to those discussing the alleged podcast episode, Rogan emphasized that Nicole had concrete proof, not mere suspicions. The use of terms like affair and warning implies his source might have had direct knowledge of the situation. The narrative reportedly outlined a clear sequence of events. Nicole discovered the affair, confronted Keith with undeniable evidence, gave him an ultimatum, and left when he didn't change. Rogan's supposed motivation for sharing this, as listeners speculate, would be consistent with his long-standing commitment to exposing celebrity hypocrisy. The contrast between public image and private behavior. Keith Urban has long presented himself as a devoted husband and family man, which makes these allegations particularly damaging. The warning element transforms the story. It paints Nicole as a strong woman who gave her husband a chance to fix his mistake and walked away only when he refused. This image aligns with Rogan's audience values: people who admire accountability and self-respect. Reports even suggest Rogan's source could have been someone within the music industry or from Keith's touring crew, someone close enough to know the details. Rogan's deep understanding of the touring lifestyle adds credibility to his alleged analysis. He knows what months of performing in different cities can do to a relationship. Touring means long separations, repetitive travel schedules, and close bonds with the same crew, conditions that can foster secret relationships. Publicly available data supports that Keith Urban toured more than 200 days a year during his marriage, leaving Nicole in Nashville to care for their daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret. If the affair involved someone from his touring circle, it would have been easy to hide. Those summarizing Rogan's alleged comments claim he posed a difficult question. If Keith truly loved Nicole, why didn't he end the affair after her warning? Rogan often analyzes how fame and ego lead men to make self-destructive choices. In this case, he allegedly argued that Keith either couldn't let go of the other relationship or had emotionally checked out of his marriage long before. The reported timeline Rogan referenced lines up with public records. In June 2025, Nicole posted a romantic anniversary photo captioned, "Happy Anniversary, Baby," while Keith responded only with a heart emoji. 3 months later, in September 2025, Nicole filed for divorce in Davidson County, Tennessee. Rogan's alleged analysis placed Nicole's discovery and warning within that 3-month window, suggesting a swift and decisive response to betrayal. According to these circulating reports, Rogan described how Nicole might have found messages or photos on Keith's phone, or perhaps a member of his touring crew confessed. Either way, the story claims she confronted him directly and gave him an ultimatum: end the affair or the marriage would end. When Keith failed to comply, she filed for divorce. Public court documents support some of the surrounding facts. They show that Keith agreed to a parenting plan giving Nicole 306 days of custody per year, while he would have only 59, about 17% of the time. He didn't fight for more time, which Rogan allegedly interpreted as a sign that he lacked leverage. If Nicole truly had proof of an affair, challenging her in court could have exposed those details publicly. Instead, Keith chose a quiet settlement to protect his reputation. Another part of Rogan's supposed discussion tied the affair timeline to Keith's emotional speech at Nicole's AFI tribute in April 2024. In that speech, Keith praised Nicole for standing by him through addiction, saying, "4 months into our marriage, I'm in rehab for 3 months. If you want to see what love in action really looks like, give that a whirl." The heartfelt moment went viral, painting Keith as a grateful husband. But as Rogan allegedly pointed out, only 17 months later, the couple divorced. If the affair began before or around that time, the speech would appear hollow, a public performance masking private betrayal. Rogan reportedly questioned how someone could publicly praise their spouse as their savior while secretly betraying them. He allegedly described such behavior as sociopathic, consistent with his blunt on-air style. This interpretation would resonate strongly with Rogan's audience, who tend to value honesty and authenticity over celebrity polish. Factually, the timeline aligns with the theory. Keith gave the emotional AFI speech in April 2024. By June 2025, Nicole was still posting anniversary tributes. 3 months later, she filed for divorce. Court filings show Keith accepted limited custody without contest. The abrupt transition from romantic public posts to divorce proceedings supports the idea of a sudden breaking point, possibly triggered by Nicole's discovery of infidelity. Rogan's alleged framing of the situation emphasized that this wasn't simply a marriage fading from neglect. It was a moral failure hidden behind celebrity branding. Keith had long presented himself as a country star devoted to family and traditional values. If he betrayed that image, Rogan would likely call him out as another example of Hollywood hypocrisy. His podcast often explores how public figures market themselves as virtuous while living double lives. The country music connection makes this story especially explosive. Rogan's audience includes a large number of country fans who view loyalty and integrity as core values. If Keith built his career on projecting those ideals while secretly violating them, the betrayal extends beyond his marriage. It deceives his entire fan base. According to reports, Rogan allegedly said that Keith profited from the image of being a loving husband while living a lie. Even if Rogan never explicitly said these things, the narrative fits perfectly within his typical discussions. It's exactly the kind of story his audience would dissect. Fame, hypocrisy, betrayal, and a woman taking control of her life. The documented facts, Keith's extensive touring, Nicole's anniversary post, the rapid divorce filing, and the extreme custody split, all align with the affair and warning theory. Still, it's important to clarify that no verified recording of Rogan discussing Nicole and Keith's marriage currently exists. Available JRE episodes do not show him addressing this topic directly. It's possible that fans or media commentators misinterpreted his remarks about touring lifestyle and infidelity, applying them to Keith Urban's situation. Another possibility is that people close to Rogan shared his private opinions, which then spread online. Or perhaps the speculation stems from the type of commentary Rogan is known for, rather than an actual quote. Regardless, the story resonates because it reflects patterns Rogan often talks about. He has repeatedly discussed how the entertainment industry encourages deceit, rewarding public image over genuine character. Celebrity couples sell narratives of perfection until divorce exposes the truth. Whether Rogan discussed Nicole and Keith directly or not, The factual sequence of their breakup supports the type of conclusions he usually draws. Here are the confirmed public facts. In April 2024, Keith delivered an emotional AFI speech praising Nicole. 17 months later, in September 2025, the couple divorced. On June 26, 2025, Nicole posted a loving anniversary photo, while Keith's only response was a heart emoji. Court filings confirm Nicole received 306 days of custody compared to Keith's 59, and he did not contest the arrangement. Tour records confirm Keith spent over 200 days on the road annually, creating long separations.